Right guys, today we are taking a crack at putting together this year's World's Strongest Man groups. We know the 30 athletes, Auntie Liz and myself have been arguing away between us. We never agree on everything, but we've come to a decision that we're both happy with. And we thought we'd talk you guys through how we got these groups.
Now this is a doozy of a job, isn't it, Laurence? A real doozy.
It's one of those things I really don't envy the people that have to put the groups together.
I wouldn't mind doing it though. If they asked me, like, Liz, we need your help, I would go and I would help because I want it to be right. And I think we do a decent job every year.
I think we do a decent job, but it's one of those things, there's so many subjective areas to it.
Of course.
And it's always difficult because there is no official seeding and stuff like that. So
there's no like official strongman ranking, because if there was, then you could use that, couldn't you? But we have to go on.
So do you want to tell people kind of the criteria that we've used to put this together?
Okay, so for each group we've ensured that there's a spread of nationalities. So obviously there's more UK and USA athletes than there are groups, so we've made sure they're spread out nicely. Then we've tried to spread out the Southern Hemisphere athletes and the European athletes too. And we've very much gone on results and not names. We've tried to steer clear of names because sometimes you see a name and you think, oh, but then actually if you look at their recent competition history, you know, maybe they've not been performing at their best. So it's hard though, because you're almost objectifying these men. It's very cruel. But what I did, I layered the guys. I made like 6 layers of 5 athletes, and then we picked it apart, put in our seeds, and then arranged everyone else according to the criteria that we set ourselves.
I had like blocks of 10 athletes.
Yours was harder, I think.
I was trying to be a little bit more, you know, forgiving in terms of where I was trying to think how World's Strongest Man would think.
I was unforgiving. But I was trying to be really precise as well. But we'll see. People might look at it and say that's total trash. But
absolutely. Well, we'd love to know everyone's opinions, and we want you guys to comment with your groups down below. But should we explain how you got these groups?
Yes, let's. So the most important thing first off is figuring out our seeds. So first up, let's get our top 5 on the screen right now. So these aren't in like a massive particular order, I guess.
It's not 1 to 5, but obviously we start with Tom Stoltman. Yeah. He's the current champion. I think everyone out there would say Tom Stoltman definitely deserves to be a seed. He is the current 2-time World's Strongest Man. He peaks for World's Strongest Man, and despite how he's done in other competitions, Tom is going to come into World's Strongest Man dangerous as hell. Yeah,
absolutely. And then of course, men that completely belong in there, both Alexei Novikov and Mitch Hooper. They both have massive wins this last year, with Alexei winning the Rogue Invitational and Mitch, of course, winning the Arnold Strongman Classic.
Both very solid in terms of almost always on podiums. They are 2 of the most consistent performers out there.
Brian Shaw belongs in this lineup, we feel. He's the 4-time champion. He hasn't not made the final since, 2008? Yep. And these are great events for him this year.
Yeah, we don't see Brian competing as much. He's obviously been second at the Shaw Classic the last few years, second at Worlds in 2021. He's consistently good in any show that he does. And this is his last World's Strongest Man, so it means a lot to him. He's looking really strong in training, and the events this year are very good for Brian.
Little bit of and ahhing we had the other week about who should be number 5. We came to the conclusion that it should be Trey.
And I think Trey is the right choice.
Trey's a really solid choice. You know, he was unlucky not to win at the Rogue Invitational. He's won the Shaw Classic again for the 2nd year in a row. Trey's a really solid guy, and there are no grip events at this year's World's Strongest Man. Yeah. But very close behind him. So now let's put the next 5 up. We have Mateusz Kieliszkowski. So personally, I would put 5 and 6 together and then work back to put number 10 with number 1 in the seedings.
So you've got Kieliszkowski, Pavlo Kordiak, who just won Europe's Strongest Man, Pavlo Nekonechny, who won the World Open last year. Yeah. You got Bobby Thompson, who is the current America's Strongest Man, just came 3rd at the Arnolds
for the 2nd time.
And you've got Ivers Schmaukstalis, who's been on the podium in the last 7 internationals that he's done.
Yeah, and just a solid all-round performer. So after that, we're going to start populating the groups as a whole. I feel like I'm the weather woman or something. I'm like, here's my chart. But yeah, let's populate group 1 then. Now, as you can see, we've got Evan Singleton, Gabriel Rayom, Graham Hicks and Coco. Now that's in an attempt to try and get the spread of nationality. So Evan there is our USA athlete. We've got Gabriel Rayom from Canada and Coco from the Southern Hemisphere. But I think that's a decently balanced group. Do you think so, Lozzo?
It's a tough group. You've got Tom Stoltman, Ivers,
tough.
Evan Singleton, Gabriel Rayom, who's a finalist from last year. You've got Hicksy, who's been a finalist before and is a static monster. And then you've got Coco, who made the stone off last year.
Yeah,
so it's a tough group.
But trust me when I say that, I think they're all tough groups. I don't think there's a way to make an easy group this year.
The standard now is too high, which is what we want. So group 2.
Yeah, so this is Alexei Novikov's group. And in there, we've put with him and Bobby, Adam Bishop, Konstantin Janasha, Paro Dwyer and Matt Ragg. Now, I think in a group like this, if Konstantin Janasha turned up in prime Konstantin Janasha shape, what we know he's capable of at World's Strongest Man, this would be a horrible group to be in.
Janasha's only not made the final of Worlds once.
Yeah, last year.
And this last year has been a bad year for him. He's not performed at the level that we expect from Konstantin.
No.
But we've seen before where people can come to Worlds and suddenly they can perform. He knows the format well. Adam Bishop, current Britain's strongest man, he's performing well, looked very solid at Europe's.
And these are some good events for him.
Very good events.
Some good events for Par in there as well. And then Matt Ragg, who'll be attending his first World's Strongest Man after placing 3rd at OSG last year.
Group number 3, joining Mitch Hooper and Pavlo Nekonechny.
So that's already, you see those two names and you think, ouch, it's going to get worse. So in there we've put with them Rauno Hainler, Kevin Ferris, Paul Smith and Eddie Williams.
You just want to see a bloodbath of a deadlift, don't you?
It seems that way. And yeah, maybe it is a little bit too deadlift heavy in that particular group. I don't know. I mean, and this is where we say
Mitch Hooper, Pavlo, and Rauno could all win a deadlift group against any group.
Yeah, maybe that one needs a
jiggle.
jiggle.
All 3 in there, but it could well happen like that. Sometimes at Worlds we do see that where they used to do squat and deadlift groups. Yeah. Sometimes they purposely put a lot of good squatters in one group and a lot of good deadlifters in another. So it wouldn't surprise me to see something like that.
No, and in that lineup, I could see probably Mitch Hooper winning with Pavlo and Rauno, or Pavlo and Kevin, or Rauno and Kevin in the stone off. Personally, based off of the guys' strengths and weaknesses and the events that they'll be doing.
Group number 4 with Brian Shaw and Pavlo Kordiaka.
See, it's all very cruel. Then we put in there Luke Stoltman, Spencer Remick, who was the winner of OSG, Jaco Schoonwinkel, who was second behind Spencer, and Fadi Al-Masri, who'll be at his first Worlds this year.
That's another tough group to have Brian, Pavlo and Luke Stoltman all in the same group, plus Spencer and Jaco, who are both really solid performers.
They are. And
Fadi is like complete newbie at World's Strongest Man, but he's tall. He's got that natural ability on certain events.
Yeah,
it's another tough group, but for me it would come down to the top 3.
I could see Pavlo Kordiaka winning almost any group, honestly, with these events, and I think it would be a Brian Shaw and Luke Stoltman, or Brian and Spencer Stoneoff.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. Could be another interesting group for sure.
Not that it's going to happen, but
this is our groups. This isn't the official groups, but it's fun trying to put them together.
No, it's hard trying to put them together.
It is. It's so we could change things around. You just don't know what's going to happen. But we've tried to make it as even as possible.
Then the last group, probably the most unpredictable of all. So with Trey Mitchell and Mateusz, we have put in Athor Ingelsson Melstead, who has made 2 finals at World's Strongest Man so far, Gav Bilton, Mark Felix and Ian Bibby. And I really feel any group you put Ian Bibby into makes the whole group very unpredictable, because we have no idea what shape he's in, how he's going to perform on this equipment against these guys at these events.
We've never seen Ian Bibby at World's Strongest Man.
He could come in absolutely brilliant and really shake that group up. He might not be, and in which case I could see Mateusz or Trey winning the group and Athor in a stone off with the one who doesn't win, personally.
Yeah, I think, Gav Bilton as well. Gav's
if his back issue, I know
he said he's okay. He said he's okay.
Yeah.
He was great at Britain's Strongest Man this
Yeah.
year, and Gav's a great stone lifter as well.
He is.
So that could be another interesting group as well.
Yeah.
Trey Mitchell and Kiliashkovsky. Athor's done so well getting to the final last few years. He's a great stone lifter.
He is a great. So it's staying with Gabriel Rayam though, who we put in Group 1. If he gets into a stone off,
Absolutely.
then that could cause anyone problems. Although Ivers is also a great stone lifter. Evan's a great all-rounder. Tom is obviously one of the best stone lifters in the world. No matter what, it would be tough. But I think, to the best of our ability, that is quite even while also ticking the boxes.
That's the thing. You've got to tick the
nationality
boxes of
spread.
trying to split the English athletes. You've got to split the American athletes.
The Ukrainians, the Canadians.
Yeah, it's not an easy task, and I
It's
look
not.
forward to seeing the Finnish groups when they decide it. We'll have to compare World's Strongest Man's groups to our groups when they come out.
No.
World's Strongest Man, if you're watching, Auntie Liz is offering her services.
I'm here to help.
Right, guys, that's our groups for World's Strongest Man this year. We want to know your groups. Who would you put in different groups of World's Strongest Man? So hard to do.
It is, and there's no right or wrong. It's all subjective, isn't
Absolutely.
it? It's just for fun.
It is just for fun. So in the comments, let us know what your groups would be. Don't forget, like, share and subscribe to the channel. Get excited for World's Strongest Man. It's going to be amazing this year. I am really, really looking forward to this one. It's going to be
looking forward to watching the spreadsheet and seeing how it goes down.
Absolutely. Right, guys, take care. We'll catch you soon.